GameDay Garage presents The Show and the You with Jake Hasan.
Cowards.
From live bets.
We're betting UCSB, full game money line.
To random calls from strangers.
Who the hell is calling you right now?
Nothing is off limits. Even a little self-discovery.
This is what happens when you live alone. You kind of just talk to yourself sometimes. And maybe is it a sign of developing schizophrenia? Maybe.
It's The Show and the You.
College sports. Gotta love it.
Here's Jake Hasan.
That intro, and I hope this is working. I don't know. We're outsourcing some stuff. Colby or Matt, me if this is not working, please. That intro is so abrupt and how it ends. Hello, this is Game Day Garage show and you. I think we're here. I think I'm live. I think we're figuring this out. I have been up for 11 hours and it hurts. My brain hurts and it's skipping. All right. We're changing. All right, I think we're back. It probably sounds like crap because it's an internal microphone. The nice thing, and if you were watching me and Colby Marcio on Sports and Nonsense, which was right before this, which you should also follow us on Twitch, YouTube. Anyway, I don't know. This laptop is like 15 years old, and I think it's finally giving out. So that's really awesome. Nope. Kate, if you're watching this, we do not need a code. Thank you for letting me use your StreamYard, though. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, I've been up for 11 hours, and it is really starting to affect my brain. The second Celsius is wearing off, in case anybody was wondering. This laptop is about 15 years old, and what's really, really awesome is that now, after I have one part-time job, is when it's finally going to decide to give out. So that's awesome. Maybe I should just do a hard reset. I'm not going to do that now, obviously, because we're live. And as one Colby Marshall would like to say, we're live and alive. I don't feel alive right now, particularly. But hey, I'm going to be here for the next 40 minutes or so. Talking ball. If you joined from the Sports and Nonsense stream, appreciate you. Thank you for being here. If you are here for just me, I also appreciate you. If you're here in podcast form, I also appreciate you. I know that the times and days have been kind of wonky as we get this off the ground, but that's business, baby. So what are we going to talk about today? Some college baseball. As you can see right there, week 4 bets, followed by, I do have a Marlins long shot bet at 40-1, which is awesome. I have convinced myself I have the winner for NL Rookie of the Year. Asterisk mark for the Connor Griffin clause. And then, of course, if you, the people, have anything that you would like to contribute in the Bettors box, you could send in your questions, send in your bets, and we'll address them in the chat on the show here on Game Day Garage, the show and you. I have a bunch of bets. I was sitting at Equinox today where I am employed part-time. And I was thinking about things, and I wrote them down as I was there so that I would not forget them. And here we are. So I want to start with one thing, though, because we talked about last week midweek losses and how these top teams, when they lose in the midweek, how it doesn't really mean anything. You shouldn't panic. You shouldn't be like, oh, my God, Georgia lost to Middle Tennessee State or what have you, whoever. It doesn't matter. Pick your favorite mid-major school, whatever. What is this Twitter notification? Oh, it's the Game Day Garage account, which you should be following on Twitter because I'm there. But I'm going to retweet this. There we go. Boom, bang, done. Just like that. LSU lost in the midweek again this week. And they're still the favorite to win the College World Series at like 7-1. I'm not saying panic about LSU because they're still a very, very good team. But when you lose back-to-back midweeks, I am going to have some concerns, and I am going to circle you as a team and say, okay, maybe they don't have it. Maybe they don't have that it factor. I don't know. it's still very early in the season. We haven't even gotten to conference play. We are still in the weekend before conference play even starts. A long way to go. But now I have LSU circled because I'm saying, okay, I don't know if they have that killer instinct that they had last year. You know what I mean? Like they had that killer instinct where no matter who you were, no matter who was opposing them, they were going to go in and they were just going to reach in and rip your jugular right out of your throat. I just don't really think they have that this year. Of course, it helped last year when you had Cade Anderson, who ended up going 3rd overall in the draft. That's obviously going to happen. Things change. Situations are situational, as somebody famously said once. But LSU, I'm just kind of on. Could they still win the College World Series? Yes, of course. They are ultra talented. They have probably the best manager in the country. They're the reigning champs. But it's a reason why I wasn't so gung-ho on them this year to win the championship like I was last year when we bet them at 12-1. And we won. But we'll see. I think it's something worth monitoring with LSU. It's probably nothing, but maybe something. Now, for the college baseball week 4 actual bets. We have a bunch of games that I like that start in just a couple of hours. I like Duke. I don't think this line has moved that much. Duke in a fallen hero spot after Cider Cannon, their best hitter, one of their best hitters at worst. He went down with an injury earlier in the week. He's going to miss like 8 weeks of the season now. So Duke, you're getting plus money, and I still think that you are. I am fact checking this as we speak. Oh my God. You're actually getting a better number now than I got earlier today. Duke's out to plus 140. Notre Dame is getting nuked. This is at Duke, by the way. So this is a home game for them. Fallen hero spot. People are seeing the headlines of Cannon being out. Oh, Duke lost their best hitter. They lost their catcher. Time to go fire on Notre Dame. I think we should bet Duke here at a big number, plus 140. I like them a lot in the fallen hero spot. Notre Dame isn't some powerhouse this year. They aren't unbeatable. They've had a good season. But give me Duke in that one. That's in like 2 hours. So you have time. This is gonna be fresh. This is gonna live for a couple of hours. Also later on today at 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Mountain. Is Hawaii ahead or no? Hawaii's behind. So 11 a.m. Hawaii time. I think I'm doing that math right. Again, I've been up for a very long time and my brain hurts. East Carolina against Coastal. It's the same thing that I've been saying in the Substack. It's the same thing that I've been saying on this show. Coastal is dead. They've got nothing going. Cameron Fluke's still out. Dominic Carbone's still out, their best bullpen arm. Their number 2, Johnson's still out. So I think Coastal is dead. And East Carolina, they're not as good as they were a couple of years ago, but they're still like, they weirdly get up for these games, like these interstate rivalry games. So I like East Carolina. It got nuked a little bit, a hair on my tongue. It got nuked a little bit, and I think we're still standing there. If I could ever find this game. There it is. Yeah, I mean, it's East Carolina. It was plus money earlier. People are betting the Pirates. They're minus 110 still, so it's about a pick with Coastal. I still think this is a good old-fashioned WTF. I still think this is wrong team favorite. East Carolina should probably be favored in this one, even though it's Coastal at home. I'm going to bet East Carolina in every game this weekend because I don't think Coastal has it. They're rolling over and they're dying. I'll take East Carolina in every single game this series, including today in a few hours against Coastal Carolina. A bet later on today. Again, I'm going to make sure that this bet is still alive, or not alive, but it's still that I'm giving out the right numbers because I don't want to be throwing out numbers here on this show and they're not correct. Because you know who does that? Frauds. And I'm a fraud and a lot of other things in my life. I'm really not. I'm pretty. What you see is what you get with the Jake Hasan show, which is not the name of this show. It's just what I'm calling my life in this instance. 10.5, Fresno State and Arizona. Minus 115 each way. Pick. I like the over. It's just 2 bad pitchers. That's it. That's the handicap. 2 bad pitchers. I was tempted to take Fresno State. I mean, if you want to get crazy, Arizona's been terrible this year, so I can get why you're going with that. Fresno State, you're getting plus 154 with them right now. Wow, my tongue is really dry. I have such bad cotton mouth right now. But I'm not going to be walking around my apartment because I don't have a co-host. It's just me. Mike Ditka back there is going to start talking to me. You know what I mean? Wow, I am losing it. If you want to get frisky and take Fresno State, more power to you. I think the over is the better play. 10.5, 2 bad pitchers, 2 competent offenses. Woo! Let's go the over in that one. A little money line parlay for the people, which has gotten bet. I mean, it hasn't gotten bet, but the lines have moved a little bit. I think you get plus money depending on where you're shopping. At the Green Book, it's minus 101. I just checked. Give me 2 pitchers that I really like who are pitching unbelievably right now. The first being Jackson Flora, going for UCSB, and is a giant favorite, obviously. I want to back him, and I want to back Ruger Rojas for Texas. And you all know how I feel about Texas. I still think they're going to win the College World Series. I still think that 14-1 is disrespectful. I still think that 14-1 is disrespectful for Texas on the odds board. I think they should be priced much closer to UCLA and LSU in the odds, but we can talk about that in just a second. As far as the parlay goes, give me Flora, give me Rojas, and pair it with the good old-fashioned Hawaii home field advantage tonight as well. 3-team parlay, you're getting about even money. Give it, take a few cents. I like that a lot for this one. Here's the thing. It's the week before conference play starts. Like next week, we get Clemson and NC State, banger. Next week, we got some SEC teams going against each other, banger, obviously. Barely know her. But you're going to have some weird games this week. You're going to have some massive spreads as teams get their tune-up games ready to go before they get into conference play. So I like the money line parlay there. That's a reason why I like it. I just think it's fun. I think things can get wacky. I don't want to spray the board too much this week because I think it's either really big spreads or things are just going to get weird, and I don't want to be frustrated. So I will say tomorrow, somebody that I wrote about in my Substack, hasanshacks.substack.com, by the way, you should be following. We had an awesome week last week. It did really good last weekend. I think we were up like 3 or 4 units on the weekend. And then on Tuesday, random midweek, by the way, we gave you a couple bets that had you up 2 units. That's the magic of the Jake Hasan effect when you talk about college baseball here. Tell your friends, tell your loved ones. We have been actually making money hand over fist right now during this college baseball season. I just found a little bit more energy that was somewhere deep within my stomach. We are making money so far. And now, of course, we're just going to go like 0-3 this weekend. It's going to be really awesome. But overall, we're having a great year so far. Hopefully we can keep it up. But as I was saying, somebody that I mentioned in my Substack, hasanshacks.substack.com, Wake Forest pitcher Chris Levonis, I think I'm saying that right. He goes against Stanford this week, and he's not the Friday night starter yet for Wake, but he's been awesome. He's been so good. Back-to-back starts with double-digit strikeouts so far. Now goes against a Stanford team that is just floundering. They have to go across the country now from home to Wake Forest. Good luck the way Levonis is pitching. Not a lot of books offer college baseball strikeout props, but the Blue Book does sometimes. The Green Book almost never does, at least not that I've seen so far this season. I know some of the other books out there, you got to search around, but if you can find it, tomorrow, Chris Levonis for Wake Forest against Stanford. His strikeouts, if you can find ladders. If you can find ladders on him, awesome. I think going double digits is really smart. Probably gets lined at like 8.5. 8.5 or 9.5, somewhere in that range. But if it's lower, even if it's higher, I don't mind. I think he's going to absolutely dice up Stanford in the first conference game for Wake Forest, actually. So you get a couple conference games this week. Oh, the sun's coming out. That's nice. It finally stopped raining. God, my brain is so broken. That's the college baseball plays for today and one play for tomorrow. The rest of the weekend plays for Saturday and Sunday will be coming out tomorrow morning on the Substack, hasanshacks.substack.com for all the Saturday plays. But for the Friday plays that get started in a couple hours, Duke on the money line, East Carolina on the money line, Fresno State and Arizona over 10.5, and a UCSB, Texas, Hawaii money line parlay for about even money. And then tomorrow, Chris Lavonis for Wake Forest over strikeouts if you could find it. The Blue Book usually does, sometimes does. It's finicky. College baseball is a weird market. Maybe people aren't paying attention, especially with the conference tournaments happening in college basketball. A chance to jump on some bad lines. That is the bets. Get rid of this crappy piece of paper. I have to pick that up later. I don't know why I did that. Performance art. I do that for you guys. Anyway, those are the college baseball bets. We move on to some MLB thoughts. I'm going to get it out of the way now. I don't really have anything for USA and Brazil tonight. The spread is 9.5. Listen, I love you all deeply. And I'm going to watch this game because I love Team USA, and I think they're very, very fun. And I think I want to watch teams play baseball for their countries and have a lot invested because there's a lot of pride for them on the line. But this game is going to suck. Team USA is going to take Team Brazil, and they're just going to smash them into a puddle of mud. I'm gonna add, at the risk of being demonetized, even though we're not monetized anyway. But I'll just say, and you take it all away. Great song. Puddle of Mud. I mean, just dad rock from the early 2000s. You gotta love it. As I was saying, I have nothing for Team USA and Brazil tonight. If you want to bet the 9.5 on the run line, more power to you. But I will say, I wrote about this in the Substack as well, hasantax.substack.com. My guy, Brian Giles, DM'd me and said, hey, how do we bet long shots, or how are we betting MVP for this tournament? I took a little nibble on Bobby Witt Jr., 22-1 for World Baseball Classic MVP. I think Team USA is going to be in the final. He plays a premium position, can impact the game in a number of ways. I like him at a big price. Otherwise, I'm never betting Aaron Judge at 3-1 or whatever the price is. Never betting Shohei Ohtani at 3-1. So that's a way to bet Team USA if you don't want to lay -110 or -115 for the futures in this tournament. Now, something that I feel very strongly about. The Marlins. I've talked about this with some people. I've been met with either ridicule or enthusiasm. No gray area. It's either been one side of the spectrum or the other, as most things in my life are. Interpret that how you will. I think this Marlins team could be plucky. I think that they could have a chance to win the NL East. At 40-1, why don't we take a little bit of a nibble? Why don't we take a little bit of a shot here with the Miami Marlins to win their division? The Phillies are not getting any younger. Bryce Harper is drinking raw milk on TikTok and on Instagram. It's Kyle Schwarber and friends. Trey Turner continues to decline year over year. Nick Castellanos ain't there anymore. JT Realmuto is washed. Zach Wheeler, we don't know what this is going to be, if he's even going to start opening day. Christopher Sanchez is great. Love him. Aaron Nola is washed. Yohan Duran, awesome closer, isn't going to matter if you're not winning games. So the Phillies, I'm good on. The Braves, I wanted to bet, and they were one of the first teams that we gave out on the Substack, hasanshacks.substack.com, by the way. But now, every time you turn, it's either somebody's elbow is exploding in Atlanta, or they're getting suspended for PEDs. I don't want anything to do with that team. The Mets, we know what this is going to be. Cool. You got Jorge Polanco to play out of position at first base. Great. You got Bo Bichette. I almost said Dante Bichette. You got Bo Bichette. What's that going to look like? Also playing out of position, by the way, now at third base. Okay, you ship out Jeff McNeil. Okay, you acquire Freddie Peralta. So it's what? It's Freddie Peralta and Nolan McLean. And then you hope that Kodai Senga holds up. You hope that Clay Holmes can do it again. I don't know. Don't we all know what this is going to be with the Mets? Super team Mets, and they just win 83 games? Sick. The Nationals are nothing. So for a Marlins team with a lineup that is Kyle Stowers, all-star, Jacob Marcy, all-star upside, Xavier Edwards, who's a 300 hitter who's going to steal 40 bases for you at the top of the lineup, Connor Norby, who's got some upside and was the center of the Trevor Rogers trade a couple years ago. You have in that lineup Agustin Ramirez, who you all know I like a lot, a guy who's a 25-30 home run threat now in his second year, takes the jump after being kind of in the rookie of the year race. Wasn't really, but whatever. It was a bet that aged really well. Let's see. What else did I text one Isaac Trotter about this team? Let me find it and pull it up. Here it is. Silence. Really good show here. Griffin Conine, too, now healthy after he was kind of in the rookie of the year race when he was healthy. You acquired Owen Cassie in the Edward Cabrera trade. I really like him. I think he'll be in the rookie of the year race. Don't think he's going to win, but I think he'll be in the conversation. So I think that lineup for Miami could be really good, actually. And then you talk about the rotation. Even if Sandy Alcantara continues to be the ghost of himself, I love Yuri Perez. 23 years old, a dude who was once the top-rated pitcher in baseball, definitely still showed flashes of being that guy last year, and is still only 23, now with a full year of health. I love Yuri Perez. I think he's going to be a bona fide ace. And then the Marlins have two guys inside the top 80 prospect list in baseball who are already at AAA. Robbie Snelling, 11 AAA starts last year, 1.27 ERA, 33% K rate. That's pretty damn good. So I think this Marlins team, they can make a jump. And at 40-1, it's the same reason that we bet the Royals a couple years ago to win the AL Central. Even though it didn't come home, they were there at the very end. And at the end of the day, that price just wasn't correct. Like the Royals shouldn't have been 30-1 that year, just like the Marlins shouldn't be 40-1 this year. I appreciate a couple more people who have jumped in the stream here. If you have any bets, if you have any questions, if you have anything that you want to talk about, drop it in the chat. We'll get to it in just a couple of minutes here. They immediately dropped out of the stream, so that's really cool. But my point being for the Marlins, I think every single other team has their flaws in the NL East. Braves, walking wounded. Phillies, not getting any younger and possibly hate each other. Mets, frauds. Nationals, bad. So the Marlins maybe have the least amount of question marks as a team. What's their big question mark? Young / huge potential? There are worse things to bet on, especially at a huge price. I'm not saying go and put your paycheck on it. I'm not saying go put $100 on it. I mean, if that's your unit size, good for you. That's great. Put a couple schmeckles on it. Maybe win a couple $100 here in 8 months, 7 months. It could be really fun and it could age really well. That's the point with the Marlins. So give me the Miami Marlins to win the NL East at 40-1. It's a bet I really like, and I like their win total over. If the 40-1, if the NL East title is not digestible to you, dear listener, dear viewer, for the Marlins, go bet their win total, which is still sitting at, still have the college baseball tab open, so that's not what we want right now. Nope, that's MLB Spring. Why does MLB Spring Training have its own tab? I know some people are betting this, but can we not just fold it in with the regular Major League Baseball tab? Why do we have to do this? Why are we jumping through the hoops with this? Anyway, wins. Scroll. Miami Marlins, 72.5. I view the Marlins, honestly, the same way I kind of view the White Sox. I think the Marlins could go way over, like the same way that I think the White Sox are going to clear 65, 66 wins and get in that 70 win mark. I think the Marlins will easily clear 70 wins. I think they'll be in that 80 conversation. I think they'll be around 500. And that was crazy. I think the Marlins could win 85 games, and I think that could be enough to win the NL East. Call me crazy. I've been called worse by people much closer to me. So do whatever you want with that. Just something. This is all advice. This is all hypothetical. This is all just floating around the zeitgeist. Jakey Glitch, I know. We're figuring some stuff out. I literally have a giant cable plugged into my router, and apparently it's not good enough. And the mic, I don't know. New mic skips. Almost threw it on the ground. That would make things worse. Old mic apparently skips. This laptop is like 15 years old. If anybody wants to buy me a new laptop, my Venmo is Jake-Hasan. Feel free. Right now, I'm trying to pay my bills so that I can keep the lights on in here. And pay my HOA so that I can keep the internet running, as crappy as it is right now. It was like you were going to, you mean I glitched as a person. Yeah, I mean, listen, John Harold, appreciate you for being here. If you missed it, I've been up since 3:30 in the morning. And I was up at 3:30 in the morning yesterday. And I was on a flight the day before that. My brain is being held together right now by Celsius and Scotch tape. Like if you looked inside my brain right now, if you opened it up like Brooke from One Piece, reference of ball knowers, my brain would be smoking. Not like a machine under duress. It would be smoking a cigarette. I could eat a cigarette right now. Mom, don't listen to this. Anyway, where was I? What the hell was I talking about? The Marlins, I think I was closing the loop on that. 72.5 wins over division 40-1, I think is worth a nibble. That's that. Let's talk some awards because I have not talked any rookie of the year really on this show or really even in the Substack, hasanshacks.substack.com. And somebody DM'd me and said, hey, did I miss the awards talk? No, you did not. I've just been kind of slowly piecing things together. Because honestly, let's be really honest about something. Both AL and NL Rookie of the Year have been very fluid over the last couple of weeks. Kevin McGonigal, who we talked about last week at 9-1 plus 950, he's now back in that 6-1, 5-1 range because he's been absolutely raking in spring training. And every day it looks like he's going to break camp with the Tigers. And now Max Clark is being talked about for very dumb reasons from very dumb people, but maybe he's the guy that we bet at triple digits, and maybe he makes it. But now if McGonigal is going to get out to this insane lead, maybe it just dies. I don't know. But it's been very fluid for both Rookie of the Year markets. NL Rookie of the Year, though, is where I think I've talked about this guy before, and the price has drifted even more. It's drifted like $4, I think. I might as well look because it's literally sitting right in front of me. It was 14-1 a month ago and it's drifted out to 18-1. Part of that is because of Connor Griffin and all of the hype around him. We'll see if he makes the Pirates opening day roster. And if he does, great. He's 19. He's unbelievable. The kid rules. He looks like he's going to be generational. Like I said this to some friends, them being Isaac Trotter, Austin Berkowitz, Trevor Lewis, and Jeremy Warner. Shout out to them in our group chat that we talk about mostly all things sports. But the point being, maybe I am going to sneeze now. It's like right there. Here we go. There we go. But I was saying, and I can't take credit for this. Somebody else did this research, but there are only 4 other players who had either fewer at-bats or were younger than Connor Griffin if he were to make the opening day roster. Those players, in no particular order: Juan Soto, Bryce Harper, Alex Rodriguez, Ken Griffey Jr. 4 players who had fewer ABs or were younger, or both, than Connor Griffin if he were to break camp with the Pirates for opening day. All 4 of those guys are generational, and these are who the guys we're talking about Connor Griffin with. But that being said, listen, I like J.J. Weatherholt. He hit a home run the other day, and people started to learn his name. He's floating around about 4-1. I don't really want to bet that number. Nolan McLean, you guys know how I feel about pitchers. Sal Stewart is interesting at 11-1 for the Reds, first baseman. Plays a bunch of different positions for the Reds. Massive power upside. Moises Ballesteros, never. Bubba Chandler, never. Pitcher. Justin Crawford, interesting for the Phillies, but I feel like a lot would be on his shoulders, and that'd be a lot of pressure. Which brings us at 18-1. Bryce Eldridge of the New York Giants. Again, my brain, if you popped my skull open, my brain would be smoking a cigarette right now. I have a tremendous visual. You're welcome, everybody. You're all welcome for that one of the sneeze and how that came to be. The point being, Bryce Eldridge of the San Francisco Giants, you guys know that I like guys who have already debuted or had a little bit of experience at the major league level. Eldridge, even though it was small, it was about 20 at-bats. It might have been 30. But he got a little bit of experience on the major league roster, a couple of games here or there, got to be around the guys. So already seasoned, already hit, not seasoned completely, but like, a little salt bay on him. So I like that. Was a college hitter, and he's also massive. The dude is like 6'7", 6'8", like 100, like 250 pounds, and he just rakes. Like you look up his StatCast data for the spring, the exit velocity is like 105, 110, 111 casual. He's hitting to the opposite field. He's a left-handed hitter, so at that home park, that's going to be huge for him. Just pull aside into the bay, protected in a lineup by guys like Willie Adames, Rafael Devers, Matt Chapman. So I think this proverbial stew for Bryce Eldridge in that lineup really is conducive to success for him. So I think he's a guy that is going to be in. Now, here's a guy who I think is going to be in the running for NL Rookie of the Year. Like I say with everything, doesn't mean he has to win. But I like a lot of the ingredients that are there for Bryce Eldridge to have success, and he's having a good spring. So Bryce Eldridge at 18-1 for NL Rookie of the Year. That's going to be a bet for me. Maybe we just lose to someone like Connor Griffin. Maybe Griffin just breaks camp with the Pirates, and he just goes on and he just goes wire to wire, like Corbin Carroll, like who was it a couple years ago who went wire to wire to win Rookie of the Year? We have these examples from recent memory of guys who are the favorite, open as the favorite, and then they just win. Corbin Carroll being the most recent indicator of that. But maybe we have something here with Bryce Eldridge of the San Francisco Giants, who is having a really good spring. He's got a 970 OPS, playing some good defense at first base. Like, don't you think the Giants are dying to have Rafael Devers just be a DH and put Eldridge out there at first base if he's going to be a good defender? I think they are. So that's going to be a bet for us as well. Does anyone have any bets of their own? Any questions? Anything you want to get off your chest? That really wraps it up for me and everything that I had written down of things that are bets. If you want bets for college baseball, if you're late, if you're new here, we like East Carolina on the money line. We like Duke on the money line. We like a money line parlay of UCSB, Texas, and Hawaii. We like Fresno State and Arizona over 10.5. We like Wake Forest tomorrow. And we like Chris Lavonis, his strikeouts over tomorrow against Stanford. You can also read that in the Hasan's Hack Substack, which will be going out tomorrow morning, which I will be writing up tonight for Saturday and Sunday bets. Marlins NL East 40-1. Marlins over 72.5 wins. What's their 80 wins price? As I think about it right now. Marlins to win 80 games. Bink, 80 wins for the Marlins is, it's only plus 330. I'd rather just bet the division in that case at a huge price. Bryce Eldridge, NL Rookie of the Year. That's about all I got, people. Hope everyone is having a lovely week, lovely day. I'm not going to do the song. I thought about it for a second. I don't want to do it. I already did Puddle of Mud earlier. So that's your one music reference for the week here. Follow me on Twitter at the Jake Hasan, at Hasan_Jake on Instagram if you feel so inclined. Hasan'sHacks.substack.com. GameDay Garage, which is where the show lives, YouTube and Twitter. You can follow the podcast page as well, which we'd really appreciate. Yeah, I think that about does it. Hey, longer than last week. We got 25 minutes last week. We're at about 35 this week. I think we did pretty good. Anything else? Am I missing anything? No, I don't think that I am. I'm going to go shove more caffeine into my body and try to get a workout in and hope that I don't explode. And if I do, it was nice knowing you. I'm going to crash so hard tonight. I already had one energy drink this morning. I already had a Celsius before this. And I'm about to have pre-workout. Chat, do we think I'm going to survive this experience? Honestly, it's hard to say. But at least it's like 60 degrees out. Cool. Well, that does it for me. Do we have an outro video? No, right? Let me check. I'm just gonna filter through here. No, we don't, which is fine. We can make one. All right. Well, see you when I see you.